Welcome to this episode of Shit Tourist, featuring Spooky Mulder and I, as we bring you on a mini adventure to the Killakee House and the Hellfire Club in Dublin, which are two locations I've been dying to see for years. Now, there are many other videos that will give you fairly comprehensive histories of these two places, but this being Shit Tourist, I'm just going to try and give you a quick overview for context. If you want more, check out Spooky Mulder and I on TikTok and Instagram. Easiest way I can do this is by separating the two stories. So first, here goes a brief history of Killakee House. Killakee House was built circa 1806, but not on the site you see today. The original house was a 36-room, two-storey house on the estate first developed by an Irish politician called Luke White. However, this eventually landed in the hands of the Massey family through inheritance. In 1880 or thereabouts, Killakee House was inhabited by John Massey, and the story is that Lord Massey lived beyond his means, wining and dining with particular focus on the wining. And, as a result, the house and estate fell into decline, and in 1924 the bank booted debt-ridden Massey out on his mattress, literally. The main house was subsequently demolished for salvage. The house we see today is a steward's house where Massey's staff would have lived and worked.
We are at the Killakee House where the Killakee cat lives. It's a haunted picture, apparently. It was in Ghost Adventures. It has something to do with the Hellfire Club. Ben will explain it better. Or he will at least try. This, behind me, is the bell tower. And apparently, you can actually ring the bell. So I think we're going to go and try that.
The house, being in a prime isolated location, was seen as an opportunity by the IRA and was raided and used as an IRA base during the War of Independence between 1919 and 1921, and saw a number of gun battles with the British forces. The building which stands today, which now goes by the name of Killakee House, was purchased by the O'Briens in 1968, and during this time of renovations and such, Dublin artist Tom McAsey was enlisted to decorate. The story goes that when locking up for the night, he and the other guys realised there was a door open, and when they went to check, there was an indistinguishable figure that told them, no, leave the door open. The other guys ran, but McAsey looked back in time to see that instead of the figure of a man, there was now an enormous black cat with golden eyes. Spooked, McAsey also took off, and sometime afterwards drew the painting that hangs on the wall to this day.
There was a window open and a breeze came through. It was definitely supernatural.
Shapeshifter? Demon? Ghost? There have been many theories. But this is where the Hellfire Club comes in. The Hellfire Club were rumoured to both keep black cats as mascots and to sacrifice black cats in their rituals. The Hellfire Club having taken to holding their meetings in the Killakee House following a fire in their usual haunt up in Montpellier Hill. We brought some equipment with us to do a casual EVP and spirit box session, and because the Hellfire Club have an almost identical story to Loftus Hall of the devil arriving on a dark and stormy night to play cards, and a card drops and someone notices his cloven feet and the truth is revealed, I brought playing cards which I got at Loftus Hall on its 666th anniversary. These we sat on the table and lit candles, as it's said that they often get blown out, but apart from some flickering of one, not much happened. The EMF went off twice, and the spirit box uttered only 2 words that sounded relevant. Listen. I hear, "It's a joke," followed by, "Satan."
Have you heard of the Hellfire Club?
this is where it gets weird. When Ben lifted the painting down, I took a number of photographs, and only in one is there a figure in the door. This is a very important clip. Ben asks if Chris is coming back in, and I say no, he's going to stay in the van. Christopher did come in at one point, but it was way before Ben lifted the picture down.
Is Chris going to come in for this or sit out?
I don't know, probably sit out.
Yeah, just because like knowing our luck, like something would happen, he come in and goes, what's going on? And then just like...
Then we drive very carefully on the way home.
Can I get a couple of photos too?
In the photo you see me to the right of Ben and Carla to the left beside the windows, which is also the side of the door to the house, so where you would walk in from outside. So, whoever the figure is behind the door, they're not walking from outside in, they're walking from inside out. There were only myself, Ben and Carla in the room. Ross is upstairs, you can see the stairway, and Christopher's outside in the van. And the gates were locked. We had the key. So who was this? Who was that figure? Also, who is that to my right? We've tried to explain it and can't. So, as Nuke would say, it's up to you to decide. Anyway, onwards to the Hellfire Club, which in broad daylight is not spooky at all. Just very noisy. In fact, if there were no kids screaming their lungs out, it would be very pleasant, and I 100% get why the Hellfire Club decided this was the place to party.
Like, who makes the first move?
Boy, my back is
Ridiculously unfit.
The Hellfire Club building, as we see it, was built around 1725 by William Conley, a very rich man and member of the House of Commons. He wanted to build a hunting lodge for him and his mates, and in doing so destroyed an ancient stone cairn, basically a burial chamber for the native Celts. The stones from this he used in the building of the lodge, and in particular the fireplace. From this moment, those pesky, superstitious locals branded Conley's lodge cursed, and to validate their opinion, just after it was built, a storm blew the wooden roof off. But, not to be deterred, Conley had a new cement roof added, which gives Conley's hunting lodge the iconic appearance it has to this day.
better than anybody. I get stuck,
Yeah.
out of breath. I'd probably go, I've hurt myself.
I think the problem's getting back down.
Following Conley's death, the hunting lodge became the meeting place for the Hellfire Club, founded in 1935 under Richard Parsons, who apparently wanted to capitalise on the cursed reputation the lodge already held.
Not as bad.
The Irish Hellfire Club was based on the Hellfire Club previously founded in England in 1719 under Philip I, Duke of Wharton, who, funnily enough, actually sold Montpelier Hill to William Conley.
Thank goodness. I don't know if it's like heartburn, I think what was it? There's no signal up here. There is the room where Aaron had the thing happen. Do you want a photo of yourself in the fireplace? Of the Hellfire Club with the Hellfire
Rumours of satanic rituals and the like ran riot. It was said that the members would perform sacrifices and dress up in robes, and the leader would be known as the King of Hell, and they'd leave a special place at the table for the devil. The Hellfire Club members drank excessively, had orgies, and were even branded blasphemers by no other than Jonathan Swift.
Someone forget how to draw a pentagram?
However, not to be a sympathiser to bad behaviour, if indeed it was so, but if you ask me, it sounds to me like the Hellfire Club didn't believe in the devil at all. Hear me out. My theory is that they just wanted away from religious society and have a place to drink, smoke, and listen to tunes with their mates. So, when rumours were promulgated by superstitious religious type locals, the Hellfire Club members just let it happen, so that people they didn't like wouldn't interrupt their parties. Trust me, my friends and I did this as teenagers. We were witches for the vast majority of secondary school. Of course, I'd need to dig a little deeper into the facts, but I'm short on time here, and if you've ever watched Hail Satan, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Oh yeah, so yep, back to that. The Hellfire Club did eventually burn down, and then it was said that they had their meetings in Killakee House. So there's the connection.
Oh, wait. My knee's gonna go now.
But for now, maybe there's another video or two to be made on this subject. I would definitely like to go back up and see the Hellfire Club at night, but I'm more scared of the actual weirdos with bad intentions that come up there rather than a bunch of drunken ghosties. Maybe someday I will, but for now, all I can do is enjoy the view, and it is one hell of a view.